Hello, good morning. It is currently 6:21 a.m. I'm just laughing because almost weeks ago now, I think there was a brief run where I felt like they all started at 6:21 a.m. And so I was going to say, "See, it happened again," but then I'm also realizing that was weeks ago, and given that my morning routine's semi-consistent, it makes perfect sense. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Yeah, so I'm already off track. I was thinking maybe I'd talk about movie trailers today because it seems like three big geeky movie trailers have come out in rapid succession. Um, Obviously, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Um, what are the other ones? Batman versus Superman and Fantastic Four just came out. Um, So obviously, I think all three of those movies are coming out this year, so it makes sense that there would be a trailer of some sort. But having them all come out in such rapid succession makes me feel a little bit like, is this a thing? Is this something that I missed? That there was some element that made now the time? I'm not sure why they all are on top of each other, unless, of course, it's just a matter of um, the Star Wars one came out and attracted so much attention, so all the other makers of the geeky movies were saying, "Oh, we got to get on top of this." That can't be right because the trailers take time to produce. They didn't want to rush something out. They must have had it ready. I think it must just be coincidence. I don't know. Anyway, so three trailers of geeky movie things have come out, and that's exciting, I guess. So I guess here's my thoughts on each. The Star Wars Force Awakens trailer is really good. I liked it. I'm a little bit surprised, without wanting to say that there's anything wrong with it at all, or that I didn't like it, which is not true. I'm a little bit surprised that some people seem to be having really extreme reactions to it, like they came in all cynical and it just 100% turned them around and made them feel like a little kid again. And I, I'm not going to tell anybody that that reaction is wrong. I mean, good for you. I like when people are passionate about things, and I certainly know that there are some times when a movie just somehow seems perfectly calibrated just for you, and that can be a really great experience. And so maybe that's part of what's going on there because I love the trailer. I think it looks really good. I'm excited for the movie, but I also didn't have that same sort of burst of nostalgia the way some people seem to have had, which is interesting. I don't know what's going on there necessarily. My speculation the other day is just that maybe, people are hungry for some Star Wars, they missed it. Um, I wonder if there's any correlation between the people who had that reaction and the people who have been avoiding any of the Star Wars related content that's been coming out since the prequels, like comics or books or video games and so on. I wonder. I don't know. Anyway, I'm excited for that one, but the movie's also, of course, a long ways off. I'm just realizing, of course, that the Ant-Man trailers one came out a little while longer ago, but they do seem to stack up. I'm excited for that movie too. That just looks so weird. It's such an interesting power set to make a movie about, but I'm excited. But the two other big trailers that were, prompted this whole discussion, Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, and again, this is one where I feel like the internet emotional train has, gone the other way on that. And I find myself, again, feeling like I'm a little bit surprised by the how extreme people's emotional reaction is. Because in this case, I didn't especially care for Man of Steel. And I am concerned that the aesthetic, the feel that Zack Snyder is going for with this new movie is not the one that I would have chosen if it were up to me. As a result, I'm not necessarily super pumped to see it, although I'm sure I will go. But I'm not super excited, like I said, just largely because I think there's room for lots of different versions of various superhero stories. I don't think they all need to feel the same. And so they are entitled to make the story be whatever they want, but it's also not necessarily the one that I would be most excited by. And yet, I also see, like, on the internet, people say, oh, look, the trailer's terrible, it looks awful. And I'm like, it's really just a trailer, guys. I mean, I don't think it really looks all that awful. I mean, it looks like it's going to keep up with the tone that I think we always knew he was gonna. So, again, it's like I watched the trailer and I'm thinking, it looks visually interesting, like Zack Snyder's stuff always is, but it's also very dark, which is not my preference, but sure, whatever. And yet, the internet has been very harsh on that one. And then, to turn it around again, Fantastic Four trailer. And that's a pretty good trailer. I have low expectations for that movie, but I'm open to changing my mind. I'm just, the Fantastic Four is such an interesting comics property. It's got such a weird vibe to it. I am not the least surprised that none of the movies attempted so far have been especially good, because I just feel like just some of the stuff in that comic is inherently weird to show in live action, and I'm not 100% convinced that it can work really well as a movie. I mean, I'm always open to being shown to be wrong, but it's just weird. There's a guy who stretches all over, and a lady who turns invisible, and I don't know, the invisible and the fire work pretty well, but then the guy turns into a big rock monster, and it's weird. And just the stories they do, it seems like, I don't know. So in any case, just the whole property of the Fantastic Four seems to me like a weird choice to make a movie, other than just the fact that it's got name recognition. And yet, the trailer looks okay. It's got some humor in it, which I like. They seem to, I'm hoping that they have a balance of the four characters. We seem to get a little bit more characterization from the three guys, and then of course Sue Storm is kind of, the girl. Which, whatever. It's a trailer. There's not really room for deep stuff there. They're really just trying to establish who these four people are, and Sue is the girl. I don't know. Boy, that's suddenly making me sound like more of a criticism of that trailer than I really feel. It's a good-looking trailer, but again, it's a movie I'm not necessarily super excited for. But again, I'll go see it. And yet, that one, a lot of people on the internet seem to be saying, "Whoa, the trailer is actually pretty fantastic." And I'm just, really? Okay. Maybe I'm just cynical about trailers. Maybe that's what it is. I'm just like, I like trailers. I enjoy watching them. I enjoy seeing them in the theater and all, but I also just, I don't put that much weight into them, because it's so easy to have a really good trailer for a really bad movie. I feel like it doesn't usually go the other way to have a bad trailer for a good movie, although sometimes. I think John Carter is maybe a good example, because I thought that was I really enjoyed the movie for what it was, but the trailer and then just titling it John Carter, I mean, I think someone wrote a whole book about how badly that movie was marketed. I'm rambling now. There was lots of movie trailers, and I liked some of them, and I didn't especially feel moved by others. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for 5 more minutes.